Hello, I'm Sandy Walden from Serenity, your Master Grief Coach and Master Grief Coach Trainer. Hello, I'm Sandy Walden from Serenity, your Master Grief Coach and Master Grief Coach Trainer. I know it's the second video today. And do you know why? Because there's something that's sort of bugging me. Again and again and again, we hear this just takes time. We can pick up books and they'll say, grief just takes time. We hear from people who, with the very best of intentions, you got to give it time. You'll feel better. And I want to ask you, in complete and total sincerity, has time alone healed your wound? Please leave a message. Tell me, because I'd like to hear. As for me, when I think about time going by, I watch the seconds pass. If I'd hold this up long enough, it's the minutes, the hours. Finally, I could see the dates on my calendar rolling by, right? The only thing that I have personally noticed that changes with time is that I get a little older. Wisdom doesn't come automatically with time. Wisdom comes from experiencing and the willingness to learn from our experience. Our body changes with time. Even throughout the day, we become hungry if we don't eat. We become tired if we've been moving around. But healing, does healing happen automatically with time? Our body might heal with time. However, even that needs attention, doesn't it? If I've broken my arm, been there, done that, and did not have it set properly, it might heal improperly, and then I can't use it. Well, I could use it, maybe, maybe not, but not the same. What about the wounds that we receive or that we experience because of grief? I think about the grief that I've experienced with my son's death. Mike died in December of 2010. So it's more than 10 and a half years ago. I will tell you, hands down, all day long, I live a really good life now. I don't live a really good life now because it's 10 and a half years ago since Mike died. I live a really good life because those wounds have been tended to. Because I have allowed myself the expression of my emotions. Safe and healthy ways, absolutely. And I invite you to do the same. The processes have been attended to. All that time does on its own is pass along and make us a little older. I hear all of the time. Let me rephrase that, because guess what? It's inartfully put. I hear frequently from people who will say, I've lost my son or my daughter, my mother, my father, my sibling, my grandparents, my aunt, my uncle, my friend, my child, whoever it is, 7 years ago, 14 years ago, 20 years ago, and nothing has changed. I hurt as bad now as I did then. That's because for them, time has gone by, but the wounds have not been tended to. We need to tell our stories. We need to be heard. It matters. It's one of the ways we tend to our emotional wounds. As we tell our stories, we see them more fully. They expand, so to speak. When we tell the story of, okay, here's a for instance. If I would tell the story of how I felt when I went to answer the front door at 4 a.m. on December 18th, 2010, and received the news that my son had died, I would be in that place. But the conversations, the work, the journaling, the meditating, the focus of grieving and healing has expanded it so that I'm not completely, totally, absolutely focused on those moments of receiving that incredible wound that's softened and healed so much because I've been able to tell my story to those who cared. I've been able to share the emotions and have them tended to by myself and others. And now, when I talk about my Mikey, and I do, I talk to him and about him all the time, just like I do my surviving sons, my husband, my daughter-in-law and grandchildren. The stories have expanded. Time has gone by. That alone does not soften or heal our wounds. It's what we do with that time. I encourage you to consider investing some of your time, some of your attention in caring for your own wound and supporting others. You deserve to feel better. And that doesn't happen just with time going by. If you'd like to know more, drop me a message. I'll be happy to tell you more. But I don't want to take up this message with it. I want you to know that healing your grief is absolutely possible. It doesn't happen in a moment, but it can happen. Tomorrow at 4:02 p.m., I will be 25 years older, 5 hours older than I am now. That's a passage of time. What will change in that time if I don't intentionally bring about change? The time will pass, but what changes within us? This isn't an intellectual exercise, it's an emotional exercise. But we do get to think our way through. It begins with the decision that we want to feel better. And then we get to think about making that choice. Is it enough for me to simply watch the seconds, the minutes, the hours pass by? It's not for me to say. It's for each of us. I decided a long time ago that for me, my life is richer, more full, more amazing if I can embrace the relationship with my son more fully. And this isn't just for Mikey, this is also for the grief that I've experienced with other people that I care about so very much. It hasn't been one fell swoop, it's been a process. And yes, for some of those relationships, the process absolutely continues, and that's okay. Time can heal our wounds, but not alone. It's what we do with that time. If you'd like to know more about working with me, send me a message and I'll absolutely respond to you. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon where I am. I expect to spend the rest of the day, my time, with my husband, relaxing and enjoying. And that is an excellent investment as well. I wish you a day of healing moments, of embracing whatever emotions you're feeling, acknowledging them and expressing them in safe, healthy ways. That's a wonderful way to use your time. I'm Sandy Walden. from Serenity, Master Grief Coach and Master Grief Coach Trainer. Namaste.